again, Struck and welcome back to another evening of streaming. Today again it will be Torchlight Frontiers for a while, and then maybe I can move on to playing a bit of Chaos Bane afterwards. I'm gonna quickly just do what I started before, and it is to try and hit max level on this dude, on the Forged. So let's see what we can do about this. Just quickly modifying something here on my screen center. Alright, there we go. I think everything should be in place. I'm just checking if the streaming is working properly on all channels. I think it is. I think it is.
Hey.
We're good to go. And hey James, nice to see you again. So what I did today is I recorded myself with the mage wielding different items without wearing armor, and then I also recorded myself wearing the Hivit armor, the Goblin armor, and the Celestial armor. I was missing some pieces, like I was missing the gloves from the Celestial armor, but I will be doing that for the Realm Master, for the Dusk Mage. I recorded myself with 47 items other than the sets,
I'm
so there's
taking a
still
little break until you 10 BC of the
like
wipe
a
and
lot more
changes.
left. Yeah, there's definitely gonna be a lot of changes, and most people are taking a break. I was taking a break myself as well, but I decided to come back and quickly at least know that I've hit level 100 and all 3 characters. And as I said yesterday on my stream, I'm trying to make a short video showcasing all the different item models. So like I recorded myself with the mage not wearing armor and wearing the organ grinder for a few seconds, then the sizzling skewer for a few seconds, then the bloody rasp. So all those items you're seeing here will be put into a few seconds of showing the models of those items. I so far only have 47 items recorded, so tomorrow I will be doing some more. Um, so I did everything that was on my Dusk Mage site, and I did, I think, this first page, except I didn't do the rail hammers, but I did all the mage stuff. I did every single focus I found, every single even those blue ones. So it would be nice to have something like this showcasing certain items. So that's something that people who are interested
Nice.
in noticing
Still
what.
sad to see all your progress going to gone winking face.
It's fine, it's fine, as long as they make the leveling easy. Like, not easy, but faster. I mean, I don't care if it's easy or hard, I want the leveling to be faster than it is now. Because at the moment the leveling up speed is so bad, it just it just feels painful to level up. The story is good and all, but it takes you up to level 30 max. In the meantime, I have to take some orange maps here. This is the map I wanna do now. Some gearwork goblin maps. It's everything I can get back with enough time, and I would have time to do it. I can get everything I was back, so that's not too big of a problem for me. So yeah, I'm gonna try and cover all the legendary items, all the legendary sets I've got, with some pieces missing, because I don't have every single piece collected. And I don't have every single legendary item collected, but I'm gonna try and showcase all of those. So I'm gonna upload a video on YouTube once I'm done. So I think tomorrow I should be done with all the recording stuff. Today I recorded
XD
like
it's grinding map. I can't say it's taking too slow, but for sure it's boring progress.
uh, well, it is a bit slow though. I mean, I've seen the leveling how it was before they added those changes. I've seen the leveling in update 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9, and I know that when I started back in April it was perfect, because you didn't need more than 3 maps per level. So that means no more than 45, 40, 50 maximum minutes per level. Most of the times you could get level per hour if you're taking it slow. You didn't need more than an hour per level, which means 100 hours, 100 levels was achievable when you're super slow, when you're not min-maxing your leveling up speed. But you could even do it in like 50 hours or so. I think 40 hours or 50 hours is a fine amount of time invested to get 100 levels in a ARPG game. what I want to be able to do is take no more than a week to
I
level
didn't
up a
know about
character to
those
100.
changes BC. I only main one character.
Yeah. Well, you probably didn't play before they changed the leveling up speed. Because, yeah, back when I started in April, you didn't need more than 3 maps to level up. Sometimes you would even get from one pillaged village map, if I don't know if you remember the pillaged village maps, but from one pillaged village map you could get up to 60% XP. Because you didn't get special XP for killing elites, you only got XP for killing enemies. So it didn't matter whether the enemy was elite or not, it would always give you the same amount of XP. And Pillage Village was the map that had the most of spawns. And I don't like not being able to get extra XP from elites, but I also don't like having to take hours and hours and hours just to get one level. Like yesterday, for 4 or 5 hours, I only got my level from here to here. From I think 4.5 hours to get like close to 50% XP, which is too much for like what 8-9 hours just to get a level. It just makes no sense to be that slow. This is not supposed to be part of Exile. I think this is supposed to be a more casual game where the fun begins when you reach max level and start farming for max level gear, so that you don't need to be changing the gear every few levels. If the gear I find at level 10 would be viable at level 50, I wouldn't mind taking 1000 hours per level. But the thing is, every 2-3 levels I need to change my
Yes, you
gear.
right. I think for me it was like 2 to 3 map for higher levels.
Yeah, it was definitely nice back then. But as I said, the way the game is set up, the leveling up needs to be faster, because you need to change your gear in order to be able to do content around your level. I mean, if it really wasn't that difficult to do level 50 items with level 50 gear, I mean level 50 content with level 30 gear. If that was easy to do, I wouldn't mind saving my level 30 items and using them in level 50 content. But the difference is huge, especially once you hit level 40-43, the difference in stats starts jumping a lot. And I think it's gonna be much better if you level up quicker.
Indeed, our
And then
page not
spend
need to be
hours and
about
hours
levels
trying
and
to
more
get
about
gear
gear.
and grind materials and grind respec points. Exactly, even Max said it himself in the Discord once when we had discussion about this, and he ended up seeing it. He said that it is true that the wood should be driving the progress. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said something within the lines of the wood driving the progress, not the leveling up or something like that. And he did agree that, or not agree, but I guess he noticed my remarks on how the leveling doesn't feel right at the moment. So I think one of the things they're changing is this. I think one of the things that were so major is probably something to do with leveling up, frontiers, skill points, and all that. There we go, level 15 the Goblin Frontier finally. I'm really hoping to see changes in this regard. If they make it in such a way that completing all 3 frontiers up to the story ends gets you close to max character level, it's gonna be interesting, it's gonna be nice. That way, you know, you complete those 3 frontiers and then your maximum skill points are leveled up, and hopefully the maximum frontier level also changed. Or if it didn't, then at least the leveling up speed would be nice to have changed. In Path of Exile, for example, reaching the level that is needed to get the maximum quality gear is easy. And
They
from then
something
on,
about
the end
change
game
how the
is
map
grinding and
works,
trying to get
but I
level
like that
100,
every
which
zone
you
is
don't
about
really
different
need for the
type of
best gear.
enemies.
Yeah, I do like how every zone has different type enemies. They said that there won't be as many goblins and there will be more well, while the story is going, there would be more changes between goblins, skeletons, and Netherim, etc. So while you're doing the Goblin Frontier, it won't be just goblins in a forest, goblins in a cave. It would be kind of at least one extra type every now and then. It won't be just goblins, it would be goblin skeletons in Netherim in the Goblin Frontier. I'm assuming in the Hivit it's gonna be Hivit and and Netherim with the occasional infested goblin or anything like that. I'm assuming you did watch the stream when they announced the wipe and everything, that stream in 20 something of December or somewhere around there, somewhere a bit before Christmas. That stream like 15, 17 days ago. The changes are great because really some builds that are using shield would definitely benefit from their weapon not changing, or builds that use Digitus would benefit from having the range attack while still getting the relic power. It makes sense for relics to not be relic weapons, but to be actually relics that are just an extra ability, an extra part of your build, without changing and replacing your current preferred playstyle. Especially if you're using pistols. Imagine someone using dual pistols and then using a relic that changes the pistol to a sword. It changes the whole nature of the character. And that's why I think it's very good what they're doing with the relics. I really want to do a dual wielding pistol mage. A ranged pistol mage. If it's possible to even dual wield pistols. If I can dual wield pistols, I can try do pistol and focus for extra damage. And I would like to do a cannon build like this one. What's good about cannon builds on the Forged is you can benefit greatly from the shield. Normally if you're doing a weapon damage build and you put the shield, you lose weapon damage here, attack stats. But if you're going for a cannon build, you don't care about the attack stats.
But it was just boring for me.
For me, there's a few things in Path of Exile that I think are very great as systems, and then there's a lot of stuff that I just find plain annoying and boring and just too much unnecessary stuff. Like there's so much RNG on top of RNG when it comes to crafting gear and trying to min-max and get the best gear, and then there's too much punishment. It's like getting fucked in one hole by two dicks at the same time when you die in the game. Because first you lose 10% XP, then you lose one of your map portals, and if you're doing like full party map works, like with 6 people, one person dies and that's it, they can't return there.
With tears of joy.
Yeah, it is how it is there. And that's just one of the many things. I mean, Path of Exile is one of the games that has some of the best things, the best systems, and every league is a unique league, and that's it. But for every league you have to start over. And I understand why they're doing that. Their whole point is to have people compete, to have those races, to get them to win rewards based on who levels to 100 quickly. Yeah, I've tried Wolsen when it was known as Umbra. I bought it very early access on Steam. And I will be playing and streaming and making probably build videos and other content for Wolsen when it releases. So the 30th of January is when Wolsen is coming, and it is totally worth it now while it's still discounted. First of all, it's gonna go up to 40 euro when it launches. Now it costs 30 euro and it's currently in discount, which makes it 21 euro. So you can save like almost half the price if you buy Wolsen now. It is a game I would suggest everyone try if they are fans of Diablo 3 type of complexity and Path of Exile. Like, well, I would put Wolsen in a state that's a mixture between Diablo 3 and Path of Exile in terms of how complex it is to make a build and how much depth there is. It also has some nice things like Diablo 2 type socketing. It's my favorite item upgrading enchanting system. It's simple and powerful and effective.
If I'm going to buy new R page, what should I bought?
I would suggest Wosen. Warhammer Chaos Bane is still good, but not as good as Wosen once it launches. At the moment, Wosen is in beta and it doesn't have as much content as they're promising for the launch. So at the moment, probably Warhammer Chaos Bane is a bit kind of equal to the beta of Wosen, but I think once Wosen launches, it would be a more pleasant game to play. I mean, I'm still doing both Warhammer Chaos Bane and Wosen streams, and I will be doing content for both games, etc., and keeping up with those games together with Torchlight Frontiers and Borderlands. But if I were to decide between Wosen and Chaos Bane what to recommend, I would recommend Wosen. Last Epoch is also a good game, but I've not tried it myself. I've only watched the videos and other stuff on the internet about the game. I've read some comments, and I think
How
Last
the
Epoch
multiplayer
is
in
currently in a
Wolcen.
beta that's actually an
Or
alpha.
cook without big hubs.
Yeah, there aren't rooms you can join. Basically, the multiplayer is 4-player co-op, and you can pick whether you're queuing for story or for Soldier of Fortune, which is one of the endgame modes, which is like endgame mapping and doing expeditions and stuff like that. And then there will be a new mode which is coming with the launch, I think. There's a lot of good stuff. You might want to look at the Wosen 2019 Gamescom trailer. It showcases something that's currently not in the beta called Apocalyptic Forms. And those apocalyptic forms are something like a transformation, yeah, like you similar to the relic stage here. Like you activate a relic weapon, you get more powerful, but there you would have a visual representation where you gain different types of skills, similar to how in Warhammer Chaos Bane you have a Blood Rage mode. So over there you would have something that your character changes, and there's going to be 4 apocalyptic forms. I'm assuming different apocalyptic forms, different skills, different playstyles. There's probably going to be the melee one, there's going to be probably the mage one, like ranged, there's probably going to be the rogue one or something like that. I'm assuming they're going to go for assassin, warrior, mage and ranger type in those apocalyptic forms. This is just me guessing, because this Gamescom trailer only shows you, I think, the melee apocalyptic form. I'm just gonna find the trailer and post it for everyone here. Gamescom Wosen 2019 gameplay from the 29th of August. So this is the video. I'm gonna post it for everyone to see. And mind you guys, this game Wosen is on CryEngine. Probably not the latest CryEngine, but it definitely makes it look beautiful. The animations are visceral and very nice, very how do I say it? Very responsive animations. Very responsive animations, and it makes the combat very fast paced. But it probably won't run on everyone's PC. If they have an older PC, they might need to tune down the settings. I'm able to run it okay even while streaming with full HD with good bitrate, but that's because I upgraded my CPU and motherboard. But my video card is still 3 years old, maybe even 4 years old now, a 1060 6GB. So I do have a crappy video card. It could be considered crappy already. So even then I run Wosen okay while streaming. So I think they worked a lot on optimizing the game. Especially if you install it on an SSD, they've included some optimizations for everyone. I'm gonna do a bit of Railmaster by the way now. And if anyone wants to join me for some of those maps, feel free to. Then I'm gonna do a bit of mage play afterwards. If you wanna see a certain build, let me know. We have some free respecs left, so I can always change to something else like a train build or whatever. But yeah, if I were to recommend ARPG at the moment to someone who wants something different than what's on the market, something fresh, something new, Wosen would be my pick. The game went through a lot of development, and I've been following the game when it was known as Umbra, before it even released. And then I bought it as soon as it got on early access on Steam, and I enjoyed the alpha a lot, but it was lacking. Then they changed to the beta, and I was kind of disappointed from what was in the beta initially. But then as the beta grew, they added more stuff, more content, and the beta became better than the alpha. There were still things in the alpha that I'm missing, and they're adding those features in the launch. Being able to explore the story mode areas and do side areas like in Grim Dawn and in Diablo 2. You can go back to dungeons and kill named enemies and things like that, and farm those areas. So this is what I enjoy myself, and I'm glad that they're doing it, instead of just having to do the endgame modes and mapping. For rewards, it's good to be able to go back to the story mode areas, to the campaign zones. And the game is okay when it comes to punishing you when you die. Yeah, you do have 3 times to resurrect and all of that, and you do lose some other stuff, but it's not too punishing, and you can get resurrected by your teammates, so that's fine. That's pretty nice.
What about the transforming to God? The remove it entirely or going to add it in the future?
What do you mean transforming to God? Do you mean the apocalyptic transformations? Those are still not in the game, but there will be 4 apocalyptic forms, if that's what you're talking about. When Wilson launches, I can give you a link so you can read for yourself.
Yes.
Just a moment. I'm gonna just give you a link. Actually, I'm gonna give you 2 links with news. First of all, this link. This is details about the full game, pricing and everything, what's gonna be in the full game. Then there's something that came a bit later, few days after that note or a week after that note, that even shows you some screenshots about what the new HUD would look like.
About Umbra but later said no.
Oh, Umbra was their name at first, but probably they had some copyright issues and changed it, I think. Or maybe they just, I'm not sure why they changed it, but they changed it from Umbra to Wosen, Words of Mayhem. So the first link is about information regarding what's coming to be on the release and the price increase. So the price will increase from 29.99 euro to 44.99 euro, and I think at the moment the game maybe still is in on sale. It used to be on sale for 20.99, but that sale is gone. But you're still saving 15 euro if you get it now, I think. But the second link is a bit more information about the new archetypes. And because there's something called Gates of Fate. I can stream Wosen tomorrow, and if you want to know more about Wosen, I can show you in the game. Yeah, the sale is gone. I think it was until the 2nd of January or something like that, unfortunately. So you could get it on sale for 20.99, which compared to the price on release, which is 44.99, it is a huge difference.
But as I said, I'm listening to your opinion and bought it few SEC ago.
That's nice, that's nice. Well, I can show you more about the game tomorrow, and we can even play tomorrow. If you bought it, you can install it, do some story modes, and then tomorrow maybe we can do some leveling up, or I can help you with the story. I can show you some builds that you could try in the beta. Today I'm gonna do a bit of Torchlight, and then I'm gonna do a short break of 10-15 minutes, and then do a bit of Chaos Bane. And the second link is, as you know, the game has something called the Wheels of Fate.
Steam ID.
My Steam ID, it should be struck or dot struck, but just a moment, I'm gonna make sure there's no one attacking me. And I'm just gonna give you my Steam profile. My new one. I created a new Steam profile a few months ago, and I'm sharing that profile. I'm not gonna share my personal Steam profile from like 10 years ago or so, but this is it. This is my profile, you can add me. I recently bought actually a second copy of Magnus Edition Chaos Bane while it was on sale for this profile, so I can play with players without sharing my personal one. And when it comes to playing Wosen, I'm using something called Family Mode, which is sharing games from my old account until my new account. And that's at the moment how I can play Wosen, even though this account doesn't own it. I can play it through sharing it from my other accounts library to my current one. I'm really happy that Steam is doing something like this. So yeah, I was just about to continue saying about the Wheels of Fate. What the Wheels of Fate is. Wheels of Fate is the passive skill tree in Wosen. And you have one ring that you can rotate, which has 3 different archetypes. Then you have another second ring that you can also rotate, and as you rotate those, they can connect. I wish I was in Wosen right now to show you, but it is kind of, yeah, but basically I can try and show you maybe a screenshot or something. We'll see. And as you rotate the rings, they connect differently. So you can connect a mage tier 2 with a warrior tier 1, and then just bump up from the warrior tier 1 up to the mage tier 2. And that's kind of nice because you can have very nice mixed builds. And they're adding a third ring which wasn't in the beta, and this second link is telling you about the new archetypes, because each of those rings has some classes as they're called, but there's no real classes in the game. Rather, what skills you pick make your class. You're making your own class by picking different archetypes from the skill tree. So you have Warmonger, you have Sentinel, you have all those different names, and then there's gonna be a Necro in the release, on the release of WoW, and there's gonna be a Necro archetype which I'm definitely gonna play. My first character once Wosen launches would be a Necro Mage. I'm gonna try and figure out how to play a Necro there. And you can see more information about those archetypes and the new improved HUD that includes the apocalyptic form in the middle, in the second link I gave you. So yeah, Wosen will be something that I definitely will be enjoying. And it's been a long time coming for them to finally be able to launch the game. I do think Wosen in the beta was actually an alpha, because the content that was missing in the beta was content that shouldn't be missing from a beta. But that's what many games are doing nowadays. They label alphas as betas. They label games that are missing some of the core features and systems as betas, whereas a beta should have all its core features and systems implemented. Like Torchlight Frontiers knows that it's an alpha and it doesn't try to call itself a beta just to market itself easier. So at the moment I can give you 2 examples of games that were in beta when they should have been calling itself alpha, and that's Last Epoch in its current beta phase, that is more akin to an alpha, and then Wosen's current beta phase, which is ending pretty soon. 30th of January is I think the release date of Wosen, so I really can't wait.
And early access as logo. Face with tears of joy.
Yeah. Indeed. Indeed. So yeah, if anyone wants to see something like a train build, or if you want to see me play the mage on a certain build, do let me know, guys. The game is wiping soon. Torchlight Frontier is gonna get wiped soon. So while I can show you some stuff, take advantage of this and I can show you whatever you want to see. Like, if you want to see full train build with flaming cart or with shield cart or with the mortar, I can do it on this character. I'm gonna go on the mage later, so I can show you some of that too. If you want to see a different relic weapon as well, I can I can oblige with that. Well, okay. This one took a while to kill. Shit, I missed.
Wolsen also going to wipe at launch, right?
Yeah, Wolsen is also going to wipe at launch. There's definitely gonna be a wipe because there's a lot of things that are majorly changing. So yeah, don't try and get too much progress in Wolsen. Leveling up, finishing the story of Act 1 would be quick for you. When the game launches, there's gonna be 2 more acts, so it's gonna be 3 acts when it launches, even though currently it only has 1. So just try to finish the story, hit level 20, which is currently the max, but when it launches it would be level 90, the max in Wolsen. And just enjoy it. I can even suggest some builds you can try. In the Wolsen forums there is a guy called Dream that made a very nice mecha mage build, which is basically mage with a turret. Very fun build. Basically the auto turret is good on any build, regardless whether you're doing a melee, a ranger or a mage. You want auto turret in there currently in the current stage of Wolsen. It's that strong of a skill. It just allows you to at the same time survive and do damage on harder content. You just place the turret down and then you start dodging attacks of the boss. Do some attacks yourself every now and then. But even if you don't do attacks, the turret can just do the killing eventually. If you try to survive.
See you next time. How much are you looking to spend?
I'm just going to play the story for a little time.
Yeah, that's definitely what you would enjoy. The story has a lot of good stuff to offer in
I also
Wolsen.
doing season pass on COD and Fortnite.
Nice. Nice. The last Call of Duty game I played was probably Call of Duty 2. That was the World War 1. Back when Call of Duty was pretty fun for me. I've not tried Call of Duty recently, but I guess I'm not much of a shooter person, like Borderlands being one of the exceptions. I did play Destiny when it was in beta and when it launched, but it didn't really grab me that much. I probably would have been playing Destiny now if I had storage space to install it. And when I buy a new SSD, probably I will go back to trying
For
Destiny.
me the best was BO2.
BO2? Do you mean Battlefield 2? What do you mean by BO2? I'm not sure. I'm just gonna get rid of this shield. I've got so many of those.
Black Ops 2.
Oh, Black
COD.
Ops. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about Black Ops being the one after, not after, but before Modern Warfare or whatever. There have been so many Call of Duty games that, yeah, I really lost track of all of them. Okay, next map, I'm gonna do another high-bit map. Yesterday I did a lot of goblin maps yesterday. So today some high-bit maps won't be a bad idea. I think I wasted the final legendary high-bit map I had, so I'm just gonna do a green high-bit map. But yeah, I will be doing a bit more Chaos Bane later. Probably I'm gonna do another hour and a half of Torchlight Frontiers, and then it's gonna be some Chaos Bane. There are still some things I want to experiment with in Chaos Bane. Testing some setups and farming some items. And in Wolsen I'm really liking the item system. It's pretty easy, straightforward and nice to understand, this one. In Wolsen you have socketing, Diablo style socketing. You can put a gem inside the socket, and then you also have an NPC that allows you to remove all gems from an item and keep the gems and the item. Yeah, I was saying that I'm enjoying the itemization system in Wolsen while you weren't here. I was saying that it has a system that's easy to understand, it's very nice. You have your basic items, then you have the slightly better magical rare items, etc. So I think it's white, blue, yellow, then you have legendary items and unique items. Legendary items being a stronger version of the yellow ones. Whereas the unique ones having some special abilities to them. And unique items don't have sockets except a few exceptions. Like there's a great sword that has sockets. That's a unique great sword, but normally unique items don't have sockets. So you have to kind of decide, do you want to go for something with sockets and add some gems for certain stats in an item that's legendary, because legendary items can have sockets. Or do you want to go for a unique that has special stats that you cannot get on a legendary?
No class mean like you can always change from warrior to mage etc. on the way?
Yes, you can always respec, and respecing is very cheap in the game in Wolsen. In Wolsen you could start playing on a melee warrior, then you can respec to a rogue, assassin, you can respec to a mage, you can respec to anything at any time. You have attribute points, which are ferocity, willpower, toughness and agility. And you can always respec those for 2000 gold. And then there's some purple attribute points, not attribute points, but purple resources. I forgot the exact name, I think it was affinity points or something like that. Those affinity points you use to level up skills. Like you can level up the skills yourself as you get XP, but if you wanna fast track a certain skill, you can use those affinity points. I think it was their name. Or you can use them to buy Eneracts.
Cost in-game money grinning face.
The respec costs 2000 gold, but 2000 gold is like when you reach the end game, that's 4 or 5 items. 4 or 5 yellow items that you can sell to the NPC. Maximum 6 yellow items. So you can get 2000 gold by just killing a bunch of enemies. So it's not much at all. Like improving your stash costs, I think, 50,000, then 300,000 or something like that. So you can see how little 2000 gold would be. And respecing your passive skills costs 2000 affinity points. And you can sell a skill, like you find skills in the game from drops. They're called Eneracts. It's like skill books in Diablo 1. If you remember in Diablo 1 how you could find skill books and learn a skill. The same you have in Wolsen, you find Eneracts.
You unlock skills, then you chose what you want and can combine wherever you like.
Yeah, once you unlock a skill, it's always unlocked for your character. So you can find those skills while you kill enemies, or you can go to the NPC who sells random skills as Eneracts. I can tell you one thing, one Eneract from the NPC costs 2000 gold. And you can sell it
about system like it
to
was
the
on the
NPC for
Secret
2000
World.
affinity.
No, the Legends Bird.
Well, I've not played the Secret World too much. I've only played it for less than an hour before I thought the combat and the movement looks terrible and stopped playing it. so I can't tell you about the secret world stuff. But yeah, you can combine skills from one class with skills from other class. You can have a spinning axe that you leave on the ground or spins around you and bleeds enemies while using a turret. Or you can have this axe while using lightning strike. And then there's items that drop only from a certain mode that can give you a certain skill. So certain skills can only be used with staffs and catalysts. Catalysts are like offhand for mages. Then certain other skills can be used with daggers, bows and pistols. So you need to have the correct weapon type to be able to use the correct skill. But this is not always true because, as I said, certain items can give you access to certain skills. So you can have a staff that allows you to use the auto turret, or you can have a shield that allows you to use the auto turret without having to use a dagger, bow, or a pistol. And those items are only found in Wrath of Saricel map mods. So once you go into endgame, there's an option to add modifiers to a map. Once you have added 4 modifiers to a map, you can taint it. And tainting the map
Everything sound better than the
changes
rest our
the
page
whole
now,
thing.
and for me, no free, it's a bonus.
Yeah. And as I said, respecs are cheap. Like respecting your passives cost 2000 affinity points, and 2000 affinity points you can get by selling one skill book, one Eneract, to the NPC. There's one NPC that can buy it for affinity points, and each Eneract costs 2000 points. So it's pretty easy to get those 2000 affinity points. So it's definitely very fun, all the stuff in WoW. And as I said, this Wrath of Saricel, by tainting a map, you change it completely. Normally when you do those expeditions, you start from a certain rank and then you have to do 6 consecutive stages before you can return to the town and unlock a new checkpoint. You can at any time return to the town without unlocking
okay.
a new checkpoint.
Still thinking TL going to be my main R page if they not going to ruin it and give me back my destroyer class grinning face.
We'll see how it goes, we'll see when it comes to Torchlight Frontiers.
Your pet has arrived.
There's definitely a lot of stuff that's fun and nice in Torchlight Frontiers, and with update 10 around the corner, it's something I'm gonna be enjoying a lot. Starting over from scratch, exploring the new frontier, checking out the new gear, the new relic items, the relics. And I really want to do a nice shock build with the new relic in the shock frontier. In the Votura, Voltaic frontier, or whatever it's gonna be called. A lot of votes, a lot of lightnings and boats. And it's been a long time since we've seen a new frontier, I think over a year. Or maybe close to a year. I think around January, February, maybe March. Last year is when we got the Hybrid Frontier released.
TL1 was nice but didn't bring anything new to the genre like TL2.
Yeah, TL2 had and still has a lot of nice stuff going for it. Yeah, I played Torchlight 1 and 2, I even played modded Torchlight 2, which was a blast for me. I still have it installed on my PC. Torchlight 2 with the Synergies mod under the Dracu mod pack. So I still have this Dracus mod pack that includes the Synergies installed on my PC. Did I go this way? I think I haven't been here. Or have I? Yeah, I haven't been here. So Torchlight 2 is a game that there's still people playing it on Steam. And it's definitely something that anyone who is waiting for access to Torchlight Frontiers could go and play some Torchlight 2. Get that Torchlight mood settling in. And if anyone is eager to get access to Torchlight Frontiers, make sure you follow the official and watch the official Torchlight Twitch streams every Friday at 11 AM Pacific time, which would be in UK time 7 in the evening, Germany or Central Europe time 8 in the evening. Every Friday. Twitch.tv/play-torchlight. You're waiting for a third one. Well, okay. I'm trying not to do that, but since there's gonna be a wipe, I might actually start playing on my actual account, because I'm currently playing on my brother's account, because he got accepted into the alpha a month before my own account did, and he didn't want to play it because he didn't have time. He's too busy with making his own game to have spare time to play other games. So he gave me his account so I can play it, and then month after he gave me his account, mine got accepted, but I never started playing Torchlight Frontiers on my own account. So now maybe with the wipe, at least I can start playing on my own account.
Not for me, for my brother and my GF.
Yeah, that's nice. I mean, that's pretty nice. This is exactly what I would have done if my friends wanted to play the game. I would have tried and get a key for them. I did get an extra key from the stream. That's the extra wife stream when it was charity. I didn't even know they're donating keys to people who donate money for the charity, and then I got surprised. And if my real life friends wanted keys for this game, I would have participated in the giveaways in the Friday streams, but since my friends don't want to play this game, I'd rather not take the chances of other people who are watching the streams from getting the keys. I mean, I could go ahead and try and get the key and then give it away on my stream, but then that's just gonna be a douchebag greedy move. If you're a streamer and you're already playing the game and then you try to get keys just so you could give them away on your stream for extra views and subs, it just seems like a douchebag move. Of course, if I do get a key somehow, like if there's another charity stream or something like that, of course I'm gonna give it away myself. But yeah, let's just see.
I got extra from the devs. Gift to invite friend.
That's nice. That's pretty nice. Yeah, if I get extra keys, I'm definitely gonna give them away to my community again. It's just the way it needs to be done, in my opinion. I always ask my friends though, when I get a free game key or something like that, I always ask my friends whether they wanna join me if I already have it. I do have some friends that I know IRL that play ARPGs and other games that I do, and every now and then we do team up. Like when Borderlands 3 launched, I teamed up with 2 of them.
I don't like giveaways cause for me it's like throw it away cause some PPL just take the key and not playing it.
Sometimes, but depends. I mean, there's a lot of people who would really play it. Like, I think when I gave away keys and everything, people had played it. I gave away a Borderlands 3 key that was given to me when I bought my CPU, and I do hope the person who received it is playing the game. In fact, it was weird how the only woman that signed up, the only female viewer back then when I was doing the Borderlands 3 giveaway, the only female that signed up for it ended up winning it. It was weird. But yeah, women power, I guess she won it. And then when I gave away that Torchlight Frontiers key, Was it you who won it? Was it you who won the Torchlight Frontiers key, or was it someone else? I can't remember. I think you were participating in that giveaway for sure, but I'm not sure if maybe it was another person. But I remember there was someone who won the game, and
Hope she
I
played
do
it.
remember them playing. Yeah, there's a lot of people who actually sell keys they win. Like someone might win a key and then they might end up selling it. Like a
Not
Borderlands
me.
3 key is a decent amount of bucks. So it wasn't you. I remember there was someone else who won it though.
Yes, you didn't give it to me and I waited for it, grinning face.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. Now I remember when you said that. You said you were waiting for it eagerly. Yeah, so the person who won it, I think he's still in my Discord. Yeah, I think he's still in my Discord, but I'm not sure who it is from the people that are there. But regardless of that, I think the key went to someone who played the game, even though it probably wasn't for long. Maybe the person would still be returning every now and then when there's updates. But that's what I always try to do when I
left
get
your
my hands
Discord
on
after
games
I
I
didn't
either
got the
don't want to
key.
play.
It was too hard for me. XD.
Was it that hard? You just couldn't bear it. Not getting that key. But yeah, a lot of my viewers have gotten keys from watching the official streams after me recommending to them to go and watch the official streams. And I don't recommend it just for the keys, I recommend it because there's a lot of behind the scenes information that
Kidding,
me
I'm
or
still
another
there, but
streamer
most
would
of my
not be able to
channels are
give
on
you.
mute.
Yeah, I actually see you. What do you mean most of my channels, most of your channels are on mute? You mean for when someone posts a message to not get the notification? I do the same for most of my servers. I'm muting all the servers that I'm joining. Also, I did change some things about my Discord server so that people don't get notifications every time someone posts a message.
Discord channels. Yes.
I did also make some changes so that there's a bot in my Discord server now that assigns roles. And I did make a Twitch subscriber row as well. Because it's easy, just a few clicks, few commands. What I'm trying to work out is a way to draw my mascot. I'm thinking of a mascot that's the Wood Fiend in my name. And I'm just struggling to decide how to draw it. Celestial
Like I'm getting
Pauldrons,
more info
nice.
from PPL who's streaming on YouTube than any other place.
Yeah, there's a lot of people streaming on YouTube, and now there's a lot of people streaming on what's its name, on Facebook as well, which is Facebook is trying to be that big person. They even are doing a lot of giveaways
Sadly, YouTube is not big success
for
on
people who
gaming
are
streaming
streaming
for
on
some
Facebook.
reason.
Well, for me, what I don't like about YouTube is that there's a huge delay in my streams. Even though I've set it up to have 0 delay, there's still a lot of delay. What's my crit chance? 38. And it becomes 33. I also already have 300 crit damage, so I don't need this crit damage. This is not a bad shoulder. Let me see what it looks like. I think I was missing the shoulders of this set. Now, I do have the gauntlets somewhere else, in another place. So tomorrow I will be making recordings of the sets for this dude and for the forged. I'm really looking forward to try and get forged skittering powderons. I really need skittering shoulders on the forged. On this guy I've got the full Hybrid set, I think. I've got the full Celestial set, so I've got the full Goblin set, so I think this guy's sorted when it comes to sets.
Facebook already trying to make place for web gaming and they cancelled the project.
Okay, because I've been seeing like I wanted to disable one of my bots because I no longer use Streamlabs and I use Stream Elements, and I just yesterday walked into Streamlabs to try and see if I can disable the bot from there. Then I saw them doing some sort
Now
of
they doing
competition.
game streaming and also future dating app.
Okay, interesting. And as I was saying, Streamlabs are doing some sort of competition for people who are streaming on Facebook, and the more you stream, the higher you get on a leaderboard. And then there's like a 2060 graphics card Nvidia reward. But I'm no longer using Streamlabs, and I don't stream on Facebook, and I don't plan on starting to stream on Facebook. So yeah. Not gonna participate in this competition. But if it was just the one who streams the most, it's actually an easy competition for people like me that can afford to stream a lot of hours. If I'm not doing content like videos, I can do long streams. Especially now during the holidays, my flatmates were in a different country for 2 weeks. So for those 2 weeks I could stream past my regular hours when I stop streaming because they're sleeping and my voice is pretty bassy. So my voice can be heard far away through walls when I'm talking. So I try to normally stop streaming around 12:30, 12:40, like 30-40 minutes past midnight my time zone. Today, of course, they're still not here, so I can keep streaming after that time. So once I switch to Chaos Bane later... Yeah, I'm using... No, not recording card. I'm using my video card for streaming. Although I probably should start using my CPU. Because since I upgraded my CPU, my games don't use that much of it. And I think I might as well stop using Nvidia's what's it called? There's something encoding, Nvidia sort of encoding that forces the streaming software to use the GPU rather than the CPU. And I think with my CPU I can more than easily handle the streaming without slowing down my frames or anything like that. I used to have problems with the CPU, especially when playing Torchlight and streaming it. It used to go over 90% usage. Now, just to give you the difference, now if I go to the task manager, my CPU is only using like 40 something percent. So 20%, 21% is used by my streaming software, 12% by Torchlight Frontiers. Torchlight Frontiers used to use up to 40, 50, 60% CPU before for me. Now it's only using 12%. Okay, let's go back to the boss here on this map. So yeah, I'm trying to put all the funds I'm getting from my streaming and content creation and everything, I'm trying to put everything into upgrades. At the moment, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm not gonna use the funds I get for myself until I grow my channel enough on YouTube and on Twitch. So for now everything goes towards upgrades or new games to stream. And the next big upgrade I think is gonna be best if I get a good Generation 4 PCI Express 4 SSD, because with good writing speed I can do my rendering and everything much faster. I want to get something with rendering speed around 4 gigabytes, like over 4,000 megabytes
I wanted
or
to
so.
upgrade to the last i9 Plus motherboard, but I stopped working, so it's a big no for me.
Well, at the moment I think Intel are falling behind a lot in certain cases. Like, yeah, their single thread is always better than AMD, but for the prices you can get AMD, I think it's totally worth switching from Intel to AMD. when it comes to motherboards and CPUs. Like, for the price I could get an i9, I was able to upgrade my shitty, very old motherboard and my shitty i5 CPU, which was not that bad for an i5 when I bought it 3 years ago, but I could get for the price of an i9. I was able to get a 3700X CPU together with a decent starting budget motherboard. That's only missing some extras that I really don't need right now, but yeah, I think there's a few very good motherboards around the budget of the one I got. Like the Asus TUF and TUF Elite are pretty nice at the moment, or TUF Pro I think it was called, and the Aorus Elite is pretty nice. Basically, at the moment, what most motherboards, the AMD motherboards, did is in the price range of the one I got, there's three that are decent. Then in the higher ones, there aren't many good until you get close to the top. When you get close to the top, there are some that are very good. And I watched some Buildzoid videos and Gamers Nexus videos, etc. For reviews before deciding what parts to pick. And those videos definitely helped me understand what about certain things I didn't know much before about. Okay, I'm gonna do, what should I do? I need to do a Hivit map. So let's do this Hivit map. And I can do this Hivit map and then go play a bit on the mage. Bit of disc mage play. So yeah, I think if anyone is considering upgrading or changing PC parts, Buildzoid and Gamers Nexus, pretty good reviews and detailed overviews of certain parts if you wanna pick certain things. But at the moment I do believe AMD is stepping up their game a lot, and Intel is kind of falling behind with the vast updates they've been releasing. And there's always Linus Tech Tips. He's also good at reviewing certain things, but when it comes to hardware stuff, when making decision whether to buy something as an upgrade or not, I do prefer watching Buildzoid's videos or the stuff on Gamers Nexus with Steve and the others. But I'm so happy that we're living in an age where there's so much information, a few clicks and a few types away on YouTube. You don't have to read in forums detailed information in hardware forums. You can get all that information under the shape of a video. And it's pretty nice because you get not only the information from the text, but you also get to see certain things, like images, like people drawing on screen to show you some things, to explain some things easier by showing images rather than just the text or voice. Hivit Princess Egg. Well, this looks like Festering Orb. What's the difference? Like, this is the exact same model. So let's see. I've never seen this one. This is another item I've never seen. And if this one had two sockets, it would have been amazing. It would have been amazing for an endurance build. So this is the item I would wanna be getting when after the wipe, after the game wipes, I want to get this for that crit chance, the double endurance regen, and I'm assuming this damage against High Wit and Goblin might be changing if they're changing some of the frontier related stuff in the items. Now, this is definitely a very good good item, even without the 2 sockets for an endurance build like mine. Like if you're doing a melee, a lineage build, you're gonna be using endurance a lot. I also can't wait to try the what's its name, the pound spike drive setup with those new items that are coming. The pound and spike drive combo, and the busting charge item as well. Having busting charge on the cooldown is gonna be a great boost for the build I'm currently playing. Wow, okay, I keep getting knocked back. Knockback walked. CC walked.
Walken is done downloading. Going to check it now.
Yeah, check it out, man, and I hope you enjoy the story in Wosen. There is definitely a nice story, I'm not gonna spoil it, but there are some twists and turns. I can't wait for them to release so I can check the acts 2 and 3 of the story myself, see how it continues. There's gonna be a story mode. So what happened when they first released the Act 1 story in the summer is certain bosses were very difficult to complete in certain builds due to this balance. So what they did is they nerfed some boss fights, but what they're gonna do now when the game launches, there's gonna be a story mode which everyone would be able to activate if they want to. And there's gonna be the normal mode, which is the recommended difficulty based on the how the developers think things should be in regards to difficulty. So if someone is a more casual player, they can switch on story mode and complete it easy. Yeah. It's not like Diablo. It's not anywhere near Diablo. It's more about there's still some sort of demons, but it's more about politics and all that stuff. Strive for power and politics, and you'll see. There's always characters who get corrupted by their own greed and desire for power and all of that. Quack quack.
Politics is better.
Quackity quack. Yeah, politics is nice. I mean, adding politics and a system like a court and whatever in a game is always interesting, especially when it's an ARPG. There's still the bad guys, the demons, like the Saricel enemies.
Diablo is nice and I like the story, but it full with holes.
Well, when it comes to Diablo, I think Diablo 1 and 2 are probably okay, but I think they kind of they did everything almost that can be done with Diablo 1 and 2. Now with Lilith in Diablo 4, I'm really looking forward to how they're gonna twist this story.
Female in D3. How the enemies always return like the butcher.
Yeah, I'm wondering about this as well, how certain enemies return. Does Lilith remake them? Like, does she create them over and over again? Does she resurrect them somehow? We're gonna see in Diablo 4 more about that stuff, maybe, because I'm assuming some enemies would still resurrect. But there's definitely some things in D3 that, yeah, not many people liked.
Your inventory is full.
Alright, let's go back to my fort. So I'm gonna switch to my mage now. I am gonna switch to my mage and do some more high-vid maps. Hopefully I can
think
get...
I saw the butcher in the trailer grinning face.
You never know, maybe. Maybe it's there. We'll see.
Also, Diablo without Cain is not Diablo.
So what, there's not gonna be Deckard Cain? So we're not gonna stay a while and listen, I guess. We can have Cain's spirit, you never know, they might add Deckard Cain as a ghost, as a spirit. Even if the boy dead, he can return as a spirit.
I think he died on 3, no.
Yeah, but even if the boy's dead, he can return as a spirit, I think. Like Deckard Cain's ghost, giving us some spectral missions.
XD.
We can go to the spectral realm. Okay, let me quickly check. Do I have all the sets on this dude? I think I do have them all. Like from the Celestial, I know I have the gauntlets. Like just here I can see that I've got the gauntlets. From the Goblin set, I have the helmet, shoulders. I have the legs. Where is it? Here. No. So, helmet, shoulders, legs, chest, boots. So do I have the hands? Goblin Frontier hands. Woods Beast hands. Come on, I should have them somewhere.
And I have
Anywhere?
to say I like D3 and the art, and gameplay was better than D2. Yes, they removed some great mechanics, but other than that it was great. Still my fave Diablo is D1.
In D3 I do like the combat in D3. The combat, the animations, I like them in D3. The things I don't like is the end game was all about certain things that I'm not a big fan of, and that's sets, like end game sets being the best gear, and yet you do have LON builds where you're not using sets, but it's pretty limiting when sets are the strongest way to play the game. That's why Torchlight Frontiers doesn't wanna, for example, have sets. Wait, I should have gauntlets. Really, I'm missing the goblin gauntlets on this character. That shouldn't be the case. I do remember having the goblin gauntlets. Alright, that's strange. If I'm missing them, I do need to farm those. Or maybe tomorrow when I'm recording the footage, I could just record it without the gauntlets. Let's just check here.
The worst thing about D3 is no limit for Paragon levels.
Yeah, that's the worst thing, because someone who is no-lifing and grinding all day, or even someone who's botting, and there are bots in Diablo 3, would always have more Paragon levels and would always be able to push higher, greater rifts, just because they have a little bit more stats. I think having limits to the endless in bracket system is always good. So on this guy I'm only missing Woods Beast gauntlets. And when it comes to the high-vid, I have everything, I think. So this one has everything without the helmet, and this one has the helmet, so I can always equip them. Alright, I might try and farm a goblin map quickly. Let's do farm a quick goblin map and then go on the mage. Maybe I'm gonna get lucky and get that goblin gauntlet to drop. Cause yeah, today I spent a lot of time recording certain things. Recorded all the mage sets and 47 different unique items of me just wearing the
Burning Phase
item
TL
without any
need to
set
change
on
the
it.
systems with something like simple wardrobe. I like the status but not the way it is now.
What do you mean by simple wardrobe? Like, we do have a simple wardrobe at the moment. Oh, you mean you don't want it to be statues. You want it to be like the Diablo wardrobe system. Yeah, in the end, once we get more wardrobe statues, it gets a bit of a hard choice where to put those statues. I think there should be a place where you just access it and then you can click the right or left arrow to switch between different statues. Or maybe, let's say I open my thing. Let's say I click somewhere here under inventory or whatever. I just click.
Yes.
Maybe there's another button where you click where you can click on wardrobes. And when I click on wardrobes, there's a menu where I can scroll like this between them. Like let's say I have some buttons here and I can click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Like maybe I can click on Dusk Mage and then I can see all my Dusk Mage statues. And when I click on it, it brings it together. It brings the menu, like the whole statue and everything, where I can change the stuff, the gear and items and everything, instead of having to place the statues in the fort. Or maybe I can have the option to place the statues in the fort if I want to, but to still keep the wardrobe and to have the wardrobe functionality of all the statues I unlock without the need of placing every single statue there. So let's say on the Disc Mage I have 5 statues, but I only want to display 3 of them. But I still want to use the functionality of using the other 2 as a wardrobe. So it would be very nice to have some sort of something like that. So that's something good. You just gave me the inception of an idea that I can suggest for them as feedback via this button. I'm gonna write it up later because it's gonna require it to be written up properly, and I'm gonna probably do some mock-up UI designs and send those as well. So I'm probably gonna do it in the forums this time. I'm gonna try and draw mock-ups to see if they would look fun, but something like this would be great. Not having to display every single statue, because in the end I really found myself trying to find more place for those statues. I really wanted to use the wardrobe function, but I didn't want to cluster my fort with just wardrobe statues. And I am a hoarder. I like wood, I like hoarding wood, I like storing different wood for different builds, because I like experimenting with different builds. I want to be able to make a build around this legendary item with this specific skill that this legendary item modifies. But then I want to save another set for the same frontier or whatever that just gives me different stats. Let's say I want to go for a damage to my train, like damage when I'm near your train. Or maybe let's say I wanna get extra busting charge build, or I wanna get a build for pound damage. That's at the moment why I have so many wardrobes. I might have an entropy build, I might have a luminous run build.
Going to make money?
Well, so far we know about buying relic slots and buying character slots and buying storage space. So you can buy storage stash rooms. I'm gonna show you in the town. And you can click on Frontier Traders and you can see this. So you can buy extra shared storage room.
Here's DLCS.
I don't think Frontiers would be paid. I think Frontiers would be added freely. Like maybe 1 Frontier every year.
But other than that, skins and battle passes?
No idea. I'm assuming cosmetics. Like, my idea would be skins would be the best way to monetize this game. First of all, they're developing a system that's called transmog system. So we're gonna be able to transmogrify items. which means we would be able to put the look on a certain item onto another item. Officially they're calling this looks in the travel board. So let's say I want to remodel this mace, like this purple mace to look like this one, or I want to modify my tenderizer to look like Mace of Shadows. So we would be able to put the model of a certain item on another one of the same archetype. And they can sell unique visual effects,
Yes,
unique
that's great.
skins. And this is great, and this is a perfect system to monetize because they can add some skins that you can only buy with real money. That is just a skin that you can apply on an item. And I think many people would enjoy this. As long as they don't make them too flashy and too heavy, I think many people would buy them. Like on Path of Exile, you can
Hope
see
it's
many
not going
people
to be like
using
in GW2
MTX
when you need to
skins.
pay to change your skin.
No, I don't think they're gonna make something like this. You're gonna be able to transmogrify probably with gold. You're probably gonna pay gold to transmogrify. Or maybe it's gonna be free like Grim Down. If they make it like Grim Down, it's gonna be the best. Because in Grim Down it's pretty easy. It's not like super expensive to change skins in Grim Down. Wosen would also have something similar, by the way. Remodeling, transmogging some items. And another thing I wouldn't mind them selling is pet skins. Certain pets that come with the default skills, no legendary or rare skills, like you buy a skin of a certain pet and it's just a unique skin that cannot be dropped in the game. But making sure that it cannot give you some of the hard to find skills like this one, this one, this one and this one. So maybe it should only come with the basic skills, or maybe comes with no skills unlocked. Just the pet skin. So it's just a different skin of a pet, something like that. I think some people would be buying those as a cosmetic item. If they go for the route of selling vanity items, cosmetic items, that's gonna be okay for me. I wouldn't mind it. And many people love supporting developers who sell cosmetics. I do hope they don't make the contracts paid. Like, if I go to contracts, I do hope they don't make this one for the free users, this one for the paid users. But even if they do it, I do hope they don't put for the paid users things like wardrobes and like I'm fine putting pets for paid users only, but I don't
Still
want
think the
wardrobes
best
to be
thing is
put for
battle
paid
pass with
users
skins
only,
and
maybe.
maybe housing items, and if you reach max LV you can get next season for free.
Yeah, housing items would be amazing. Like items for your fort being put as microtransaction only items would be nice as well. So putting housing items at the bottom. So if they make the top being the free one and the bottom being the
XD would
battle
just
pass
say
one.
opposite thing.
Probably.
Any Chaos Bane tonight or Torchlight all the way?
Yazaru, there's gonna be some Chaos Bane in about 40-50 minutes. I'm gonna do another 40 or 30 minutes of Torchlight, and then I'm gonna quickly change my titles, thumbnails, and tags, and then do some more. This is a nice armor. I definitely don't need it. I'm gonna just salvage this. So yeah, there's gonna be a bit more Torchlight, and then there's gonna be Chaos Bane.
I don't mind if contracts be for cash if it's worth it, OFC.
I'd rather contracts have a free path and a paid path. Like the first version of contracts, I'm not sure whether you remember it, but the first version of contracts was we had here free path and then paid one. Everyone got to get the paid one because it was testing, and everyone was able to unlock it for free. But they split it up into free content and one that's premium. But for now everything is for everyone, everything is for free. But even if they do it, I just hope they don't add some stuff like statues. That's all I don't want to see. Statues. I think it's fine adding housing stuff, but adding ember cores for me is a no-go for the paid version. Adding resource bundles, I guess it's not too bad. It's not too OP. Adding legendary maps, it's not too OP either, as long as there's legendary maps in the free version. Pets and everything like that, we'll see. I mean, there's many ways to
Yes, that's
monetize
what
the
I'm
game that
saying,
would
and I
not be
think
paid
that's
to
what they're
win, that
going
would
to
not
do.
be too bad.
Only cosmetics.
Yeah, only cosmetics. I think that's what they need to do. They need to put some pets and cosmetics and stuff like that if they decide to monetize this. Okay, I'm gonna do some mage play now. So let's show you some of the mage stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna do some more recording tomorrow. Today I think I got
But you know what PPL saying about P2W? If there is no PvP, so there is no P2W, grinning face.
yeah, but people may call it pay for convenience, but this is bullshit. Pay for convenience is also a game-breaking mechanic. It's also something that wallet warriors would be enjoying a lot. So games that have pay for convenience, in my opinion, are also pay to win. Even if there's no PvP in the game, it's still pay to progress. And I don't want people being able to pay and progress. And many MMOs have this. This game thankfully is not gonna be a full-fledged MMO. It's gonna be more of a hack and slash shooter rather than a full-fledged MMO, and that's good. And so far they've been very careful with all the things they're adding, so I think we're in good hands. I think they wouldn't screw up the cash shop, and they always ask us for feedback. Every time they add something into the game, into the alpha, they ask us for feedback. They're always asking, do you like this thing? Give us your feedback, what you think about this thing that we've just implemented. And they listen. I mean, this game is in such a big part community driven that I'm just surprised that there's a game that listens to the community that much. A lot of the changes, a lot of the additions
For me,
were
even if
inspired
shop
by the
skins look better
community
than
or
end
so.
max gear is something that make me leave the game.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think cosmetic items shouldn't be too flashy. They shouldn't be too flashy, but there still should be some cosmetic items that you can only buy if, for money, like that don't break the game. That are just cosmetics. I don't care personally, like you, whether they look better than my gear. Than the end game gear, but I do not like very flashy stuff when it comes to cosmetics. Like some of the stuff,
I mean,
stuff you
why
can see on
something I
Path of
work
Exile
hours
is
to get
pretty
look
much
ugly,
eye
and then
cancer.
comes someone with skin for cash look more powerful, even if it's just skin.
But it's but what if they look more powerful? It's like envying your neighbor because his quotes look better. That's just I don't know. I don't understand this. Why care about what other people look like if they're not stronger? I mean, we have different views in this regard, and that's fine. We can agree to disagree here, and that's it. I mean, I personally don't care if they look stronger, as long as it's not ruining my experience by being too flashy and hurting my eyes. In Path of Exile, there's a lot of microtransactions that plain look like eye cancer. They like hurt my
The
eyes
only
when I look
example I
at
have
those microtransactions. Yeah, Path of Exile is one of the big examples of things like that. transactions being a bit overboard when it comes to how flashy they are. For me, flashy does not equal stronger. It just equals my eyes hurting. I like glows in items, like this one that I'm wearing. This sword is perfect example of a well-made item with good glow. It looks nice, it has spikes. I always enjoy spikes and edges and blades like that. And also there's this offhand. It's an amazing offhand. It looks like something very nice and unique, but it doesn't look too flashy. It doesn't hurt my eyes when I look at it. And the sets, they do have a little bit of glow on them. Like this Hybrid set has a bit of glow in those cracks, those blue lines.
Like I'm playing Fortnite is like 100% of the skins are for money and I don't mind.
Yeah. I guess that's one example. Like BR games, whether it's PUBG, Fortnite, Apex, etc. There's a lot of skins that are for money. And they don't look too flashy, I guess. They just look unique in regards to opening up possibilities of showing off different style, different flair. That's fine. Yeah, I think things need to be balanced when it comes to microtransaction skins. It's not about looking stronger or not, it's about just not being too flashy for me.
Then again, I have Battle Pass for life for free face with tongue.
Interesting. I'm so bad at games like BR games that I try to stay away from them. Maybe if it's a BR game where I'm controlling my character in an isometric, like let's say this sort of camera with this sort of controls and skills in a big arena with 20 people or something, similar to Dota style MOBA arenas. This is something probably I would be playing. Like me and my brother back in Warcraft 3 made a game, not a game but a map called Kill or Die Arena. And this was something that we implemented boss fights and boss dropping unique items. Then we implemented a gambling system where you can try and gamble money and try to win some. Then we implemented an enchanting system where you get better glows when you enchant items in Warcraft 3 on this map. Like you can upgrade your weapon, I think, from +1 to +9, and each plus gives you a different glow, but there's a chance to fail.
Battle Right or something like that.
Yeah, I think Battle Right added a BR version, but I was not a fan of the Battle Right classes and the combat. I really didn't like the balance, and Battle Right seemed a bit too much for me. The basic Battle Right, and I'm assuming the BR version of Battle Right would be again kind of with the same type of combat, same classes. And it doesn't feel like playing a hack and slash, it feels more like playing a Battle Right MOBA. But yeah, the MOBA map we had different bosses that respawn in different places that can give you different items. So it was a fun one. It's definitely probably not well balanced. There was some guy in the Warcraft 3 forums back then, I think in the Nexus mods or whatever. I think there was some sort of place where you downloaded mods and stuff. Yeah, in some games the movement is slow. I mean, this game has fast movement, and you have skills for fast movement and things like that. But not all MOBAs have slow movement though. Not all have it, just different ones. And we managed to make it have both PvE and PvP. And have things like gambling and enchanting, which is fun. For roughly spending 30-40 minutes per match.
HNS speed /combat.
Exactly. I would enjoy a battle arena with the type of isometric camera of this game, and with that type of visceral combat from games like WoW and Hell's Bane and this game and Diablo 3, etc. That type of combat, the fast-paced, good combat, good movement, nice animations. And some Koreans are making something similar, but it's gonna be third person, I think. But some Koreans are making
Like
fantasy
if Blizzard
BR
MOBA had Diablo speed, I
a
would play
MOBA
it.
with 20 players, I think. Yeah, the Blizzard MOBA had a lot of potential, and they should have made it better. It still has some sort of uniqueness to it, but yeah, it definitely feels a bit of a kind of slow-paced combat to me. But yeah, there are currently some Koreans developing kind of a BR arena, like I think with 20 people in a big map, which is fantasy stuff like mages and everything. But it's third person. There's also spell wake
Did you
or
try
spell
Darksiders
break,
Genesis?
whatever.
It's still DS, but the view is like in HNS.
Yeah, I tried it, I completed it, and I didn't like it. There's too many jumping puzzles and riddles and things that are so difficult to complete that it's just plain annoying. I was expecting for it to be more of a hack and slash game rather than a Darksiders game, but it was just yet another Darksiders game with just a different camera. And this camera doesn't work as well as the old camera. I would have preferred it if it was not with the isometric camera, but if it was with like the old camera, like the old third-person view. If they kept it that way, it would have felt better to me. Because now I was expecting more endgame and more replayability. I guess I had high hopes, but I should not have. I expected a game I could end up farming, a game that has proper itemization, pardon me. Like currently it doesn't have any itemization, it just has a bit of abyssal armor farming and that's it. It has some good passives and skills that you can
It's more
equip.
for DS players than Diablo players. That the reason why I like it, cause I want Darksiders game.
I liked it for it being a Darksiders game, but I found some of the puzzles to be completely sadistic. I mean, come on, I spent sometimes like over an hour trying to do a stupid jump. A stupid fucking jump to unlock an abyssal armor piece. And I just couldn't fucking do it. And it was annoying. I mean, they shouldn't walk certain hero progression behind stupid jumping puzzles.
For me,
And
like
some
I
of
know
them are
what
really
I'm getting,
terrible.
and that was it. Was one story run DS, and that it.
Anything catch your eye?
Yeah, I wanted to do it for the story, and that's what I did. I did it for the story, then I tried the endgame survival mode. The endgame survival, the endgame survival mode in Darksiders was kind of lame, because it didn't get stronger. You have waves of enemies, and every 5 waves there's a boss fight, and there's a bit of randomization in regards to what bosses you would get, but doing wave 5 and wave
easy way is with
105
strike, just
felt
shot
the
and
same
jump.
to me. Yeah, I got to wave 104 before I stopped playing it. Like the difference between wave 100 and wave 5, there wasn't any for me. I mean, I got to play that survival mode, and at one point I just stopped playing it. I felt I could go on all day without getting killed, without dying in this mode. Especially knowing that you can switch characters. I mean, I wasn't doing apocalyptic mode, and yes, you do have apocalyptic mode, but the game felt okay, but it didn't feel like something that would hold you for a long time. So I'm not sure. I probably would not have bought it if I knew there wasn't
Yes,
any good
this is
itemization.
Darksiders after all. Grinning face.
Yes, exactly, and they were advertising it for it to be a different type of Darksiders, the hack and slash ARPG type of Darksiders, but it was yet another Darksiders with just a different camera, which is okay to do for single player and maybe some co-op for the story, but that's how it is. And I think if they stuck to the other camera, the old one, I would have enjoyed the game a bit more. Maybe because this sort of camera made certain things more difficult to do for me.
It's not for the long run.
It definitely is not for the long run. This is for sure not for a long run. And it could have been. It could have as easily been. It has such nice combat. Darksiders Genesis has one of the best combat systems I've seen when it comes to using skills, doing combos, chaining certain attacks together. And all of this could have been made into an ARPG with a nice itemization, endgame farming, having different items, uniques, legendary sets, etc.
Yes, you didn't read the last advertise. They said it is Darksiders as we know it, just different camera, and that was the fans want.
Well, I'm a fan of Darksiders and I didn't want this, so putting all the fans into generalizing them doesn't feel good. I mean, I've enjoyed playing the first 3 Darksiders games, so what? But this one I enjoyed playing it, but then I was a bit disappointed because I was expecting more, and this is just me having higher expectations. It could have been much
After
more
the
than what
first
it was.
trailer, all the fans was like, we don't like Diablo game, then they release a new one.
Well, they could have had a both. They could have had a Darksiders that is with a story mode for the fans who want a Darksiders game, but they could have also made something for players who want a hack and slash experience with endgame content. So if you just want to do it for the story, fine, do it for the story. Don't play afterwards. Stop playing it afterwards and move on. But it would have been nice to have some sort of replayability for the price they put on the game. Because even games like Victor of Run and Van Helsing have a bit more endgame replayability than Darksiders did. And the controls of this game were weirder and harder to do certain things on compared to the old Darksiders games. With the old camera, it was much easier for me to do the
I
jumping
was
puzzles.
disappointed only BC of no CGI cinematics.
I did like the new cinematics myself, but yeah, I guess maybe that might have hurt it a bit. I also am. I fucking detest doing jumping puzzles. I have PTSD from Guild Wars 2 jumping puzzles. I just don't want jumping puzzles
The
in
end
my
game
games.
of Genesis is no different than DS3 honestly.
Well, the controls are a bit difficult for me with that camera. I mean, I couldn't jump some of the jumps. I couldn't do some of those puzzles where you're moving the bow. Like, who thought adding these stupid bow puzzles would be a nice thing? And then when you go to doing the gauntlet, there's one part of the bow puzzle that's almost impossible to complete. If a game makes me feel bad, then I don't want to play it, and it definitely made me feel bad and regret playing the game a lot of the times due to those stupid jumping puzzles and the stupid move the bow and don't hit the wall while moving the bow puzzles. There should be an easy mode where all those things are easier to complete for someone who just wants to enjoy the story without having to have the best reflexes in the world to complete a fucking stupid jumping puzzle or a stupid bow moving puzzle. If there was an easy mode where I can just make all those things slower and easier to complete.
But as one who played GW1 for 6 years, I just don't like GW2 for a lot of other reasons.
Me too. I enjoyed playing Guild Wars 1, I enjoyed farming Underworld, ectoplasms and all of that stuff so much back in Guild Wars 1. I enjoyed the Guild Wars system itself. I had so much fun having Guild Wars with my guild in Guild Wars 1. It was my first proper MMO. Well, I did play some other bad ones before Guild Wars 1, but Guild Wars 1 was the one that held me for so many years. And I didn't like a lot of things in Guild Wars 2 myself. I was actually one of the first people to reach 100% map completion, because I played non-stop when the game launched for a week with just a bit of sleep, and I was able to get 100% completion very quickly, like within a week. And I did enjoy the game a lot, but then I didn't enjoy how hard it was when the game launched to make legendaries. Of course, later they changed it and they added legendary armor, not just legendary weapons, but I had already quit by then. Some of the dungeons felt okay, but yeah, there were some mechanics I didn't like in certain dungeons. The story was nice though. One thing I've admired in Guild Wars is they've always kept the story fun. They've always tried to be very good at cinematics and cutscenes and keeping the story going, like the living world and everything. I did enjoy the animations and combat, but certain things when it comes to the PvP I did not
Like my
enjoy.
little brother, I didn't got even one 100% map.
Yeah, for me I enjoy completing stuff to 100%, and in Guild Wars 2 I just kind of got frenzied into doing map completion. And it was good farm. Doing the map completion gave me a lot of
I bought the
resources
last EXP
at the
month
start
ago
of
for
the
the
launch.
story. Still didn't play it.
Well, I haven't bought any of the expansions. I mean, I quit long before the first expansion. Due to... I rage quit because it was so difficult to get fucking Bifrost crafted back then. And because the PvP is meta wars. Like the staff mages were terrible back then when I quit. And I didn't want to play a dagger mage or a dagger scepter mage in PvP. And with staff mage I could be unkillable, I could tank 2 or 3 people trying to kill me. Like I could be like a bunker mage, but I couldn't do much damage. Maybe in 1v1 I could try and kill someone. But yeah, I didn't like the PvP much, it was very unbalanced in regards to certain things. It was meta wars, it wasn't Guild Wars, it was meta wars. And some builds were not part of the meta. So the balancing was very bad. But at the moment I kind of try to stay away from MMORPGs. I don't have the time and patience anymore at this age to be doing real MMOs. If they make one that isn't that demanding in regards to my time spent to be able to compete with everyone, I would probably play it. That's why I try to play the more casual hack and slash games. The combat is fast paced, I don't have to bother about PvP. In fact, I actually stay away from PvP unless it's something that doesn't require you to level up or farm gear for the PvP. If
I
gear...
don't like PvP in MMO, I play them only in GW1 and the Secret World.
Yeah, I guess everyone has their preferences. I loved the Guild Wars 2's World v World, but it was so imbalanced because
reason why I left
PvE gear mattered there. And it was Zerg Fest, like World v World was a big Zerg Fest. And it was just so imbalanced as well.
I like HNS only BC I can eat and smoke while I'm playing Grinning Face.
That's nice. Exactly, yeah, I can sometimes I can just play with the mouse. I can just play with the mouse, I can still eat and I can just play it with the mouse. Like now, I'm just gonna play just with mouse. See, I can just use that one skill. How did, what? What? Look at him, he's spawning and then he's dying. Look at this shit. I wonder if this would have been giving me XP. Alright, let's let him have a rest. I'm gonna just play with the mouse though. Ah fuck. I can't play it with just the mouse.
Joking, but I meaning like I don't need to like use the keyboard and mouse all the time.
See, I'm just playing with... Fuck, how am I gonna kill him without it being there? This is ridiculous, he can two-shot me. Right, I'm gonna have to use the keyboard for the boss fight. If I had entropy on my left mouse, on my right mouse, it would have been okay.
Your health is
So if I had put entropy here, I could have killed him with just the mouse.
you are overburdened.
But yeah, hack and slash games can be a bit more casual. Of course, there's ones that have huge challenges, and in Path of Exile you have bosses with some interesting mechanics that can be a nice challenge for everyone. But in the end, you just
Okay, going
do
to
a meta
Waltham.
build and then
Send me
you
message
eat
tomorrow
bosses
if you
for
play it.
breakfast. So I'm gonna do a bit more mage gameplay. Hopefully, try and get this item I was
Also,
missing.
what is your time now? Mine is 10:17 p.m.
Same here, 10:17 p.m. in my country. You're on the same time zone, I guess. Wait, did I? When was I here? Okay. Let's go the other way then. There should be some parts of this map that are not explored. I'm still missing certain things from one set. I'm missing the gauntlets for the celestial set on the mage. And the shoulders from the
Nice, so hope to see
goblin
you
set
tomorrow.
on the Railmaster. Yeah, I will be playing some tomorrow, and I will be doing some Wosen tomorrow maybe. Maybe tomorrow I can do Wosen and Chaos Bane.
CYA.
See you, James, and thanks for popping by. I'm gonna do another 13-20 minutes of this, and then it's Chaos Bane. Alright, let's go back to the fort. But yeah, today I started doing this project before the game gets wiped, of recording 10, 15, 20 seconds of me equipped with a certain item. When I'm doing the weapons, I unequip all armors and I'm just showing myself wielding the weapon, rotating myself 360 degrees and doing a bit of an attacking. The same goes for offhands, except I don't attack with the offhands. So I sometimes would just come here and do something like this, to show the different item skins that we have in the game. Something like this for like 10, 15, 20 seconds for each item. I did 47 items and all 3 mage sets. Except on the mage set with the celestial, the celestial set, I was missing the gloves. So I couldn't show the full set. And I'm trying to do that for all items I've voted for all classes before the game gets wiped. So I'm gonna do a lot more tomorrow on the other classes, on the Railmaster and on the Forged. I even did some of the blue items, although I'm probably not gonna be doing every single blue and green and white item. I do have some that I do like the skins of that I will be showing. Alright, let's do one more map. Hopefully I get the celestial item. Have it. I can do Goblin. I mean, it can drop celestial items in the Goblin Frontier too. Let's see what we get. Okay. Come on, Skelly man. There we go. What's my gear work at the moment? Gear work 97 without the one from the map. So pretty close to the max, 3% away from the max. But if I were to... There's not much I can change for gear work. Let's get them all to spawn up.
Your pet has run away.
Wow, they are not messing around. My pet got scared. Hit, come on, hit. There we go. Hello,
can I play this
Kigo.
game?
Kigo, in regards to how to play the game, it's currently in alpha, so one thing you can do is go on
Diego, thank you
torchlightfrontiers.com
for the follow and welcome to the
and
Struck
sign
Club.
up. So the link is www.torchlightfrontiers.com. I'm typing it for you. So torchlightfrontiers.com and you can sign up. Another way of getting into the alpha would be to go to the Torchlight Frontiers Twitch, give them a follow and watch the official developer streams every Friday at 11 in the morning PST. I'm just gonna give you... Shit, I think it didn't post the link. It didn't post the link, I'm gonna post it again. Alright, that's the link, and then there should be a link for the Twitch.
https://www.twitch.tv/playtorchlight official
So
TLF
on this
Twitch.
official Twitch channel, every Friday at 11 in the morning Pacific time, which is 7 in the evening British time, United Kingdom time, 8 in the evening Germany, Central Europe time. Just to give you some examples, every Friday there is a stream. The last 2 weeks they were on holiday, so there were no developer streams, but you can watch some of the old ones if you're interested as recordings. But this Friday, upcoming Friday on the 10th of January, I'm expecting for them to be doing an official dev stream. And normally there are every now and then some keys given away in the chat via giveaways. Like, I think there's giveaways that everyone can sign up to. Sometimes they would just post the key in the chat, but I think they no longer do that. And now everyone gets a key sent to them as a private message from a bot or whatever. So make sure to watch those streams, and it's not just for the giveaways. There's a lot of useful information. They can preview things that are coming with updates there. They can show us some behind the scenes work. They can give us some details about how they've already given us details about what goes on when they're designing certain features, what happens when they're designing sound and stuff like that. So there's at different times gonna be different dev members there to give us insights about what they do and how their work is related to the game and so on. I do enjoy watching, even when I don't catch them live, I do enjoy watching the replays, because sometimes I might be streaming myself and would not be able to join and watch those streams, but they keep the recordings for up to 30 days on Twitch in the videos section. Another thing you can do is go to the Twitter, which is
https://twitter.com/playtorchlight official
Yeah, that
TLF
one.
Twitter.
that one, twitter.com/play.torchlight. So you can give them a follow there. Every now and then they might do some contests. I haven't seen contests on Twitter in a long time. So maybe they might do one now with the upcoming updates. Normally before big updates there's big waves of invites. I can tell you for a fact that they invited 10,000 players when it was update 7 in the summer. From those 10,000 players, I'm not sure how many actually went to test the game and to play it, but they've been accepting in bigger waves around the big updates. And if you get accepted, you're probably gonna receive an email saying that you can join the Torchlight Frontiers alpha. Unfortunately, some email programs might filter it as spam or trash, so you might always wanna check your spam folder to make sure that it's not filtered there. And you can also just keep logging your Perfect World Entertainment account, your ARC account, and to see if it's flagged for access. If it's flagged for access, you would be able to download and play the game, even if you've missed the email after signing up. There's people who have been waiting for years to, not years, but let's say for over a year to play the game. And there's been people who get access and get invited 2-3 weeks after signing up. So it's pretty random. It doesn't matter who signed first, it's completely random, and you can sign up today and get invited in a week, or you can sign up today and wait 2-3 months. That's where the giveaways and contests come handy. Okay, I think I'm probably gonna do one more map and then I'm gonna go play some Chaos Bane. I'm gonna do a quick map. I'm not gonna do the whole map. I'm just gonna rush to the boss, see if I can get some loot. But the game is currently in alpha, so don't expect it to be on par with fully released games. Even though with some of them it could be on par. But there's still a lot of stuff missing from what they're planning on adding. They're constantly changing things, so there's always gonna be some changes added every now and then. They reworked the skill system, they reworked the pet system, they reworked the relic system. So there's a lot of things that I've seen changing since I started playing in April. I probably have around close to 1,000 hours under the hood on this game since around the 20th of April, 19th, 20th, 21st of April or so. 600-700 of those hours are probably just streaming without counting the offline one. When I've been recording footage for builds and just farming offline. This map is the best one for the speedrun, because I can just do half of the map and do the boss. You can either go one side or the other side or zigzag. I'm just gonna go one side. Not even gonna kill every single enemy. And they've added a lot of variety when it comes to different map layouts. Long ago we used to have just a few. They keep adding and adding and adding, and there's gonna be a whole new frontier, whole new biome with update 10, which is coming either next week or the week after. I think within the next 1-2 weeks we should be getting update 10. It definitely should be this month. And everything's getting wiped. So yeah, at the moment I'm just chilling when I play this game, because I know everything I get now would be lost. I'm always gonna be happy if I get an item that I've never seen, especially if it has a weird skin before the wipe, so I can cover it in my in my planned upvotes where I'm showcasing the different skins of the items in the game. And they've already said that there's 100 legendaries in the game that you can get. And I probably don't have 100, but 80 probably I do. Throughout all characters. So there's a lot of stuff to showcase, and I think one video might not be enough. Because just 47 items together with the mage sets ends up being roughly around 17 minutes. So I might have to split it into different different videos. Alright, let's do the boss, and then I'm gonna stop the stream. Take 5 minutes or so to change my titles, video descriptions, tags, and everything on YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer. And then I'm gonna do some Chaos Bane. For those of you interested, okay, just let's kill that elite first, and I'm gonna do the boss fight. So if you have any questions, now is your chance to ask them. I mean, even when I start playing Chaos Bane, I can still answer questions about Torchlight or other games I play. But if you want to see something from within the game in Torchlight, like an enchanting system or crafting or anything like that, let me know and I'm gonna show you. Okay, this boss is scared. Don't run away. Come on, Benji. Benji. There we go. Benji is not scared anymore.
I jumped to say the graphic of Wolcen is very impressive.
Yeah, the graphic is impressive. I mean, it's CryEngine, and I think they, at one point, they upgraded. They started with an older version of the CryEngine, and I think they upgraded to a newer. I don't think they're using the same engine that Far Cry 5 is using, but maybe the same engine from Far Cry 4 or 3. And CryEngine is not meant to be used for ARPG hack and slash games, so they had a tough time adapting to this one. When they started, when it was Umbra, before they even released early access, they had the idea of enemies taking more damage when they're from different elements. Like, let's say the enemy is in the water and I'm attacking it with lightning. It's gonna be taking more damage due to conductivity. So they were thinking about certain things like that, certain elementals and things interacting between each other. I'm not sure whether this is still the case in the game, but back then it used to be, like in the alpha, in the early days of the alpha. This is taking its time to vote. This is the enchanting system.
I remember when Crisis was out and like most of the computers couldn't run it on high settings. Grinning face.
Probably. Wait, CryEngine was Crysis, not Far Cry. Oh yeah, fuck, I messed up here. so CryEngine is in Crysis, not in Far Cry, right? So yeah, it's probably not using the engine from the final Crysis, but probably from the one before. But it's definitely a very nice. So this is the enchanting system. You can take an item
Yes.
and you can add certain bonuses. So you can add certain things like crit chance. This is the pet thing. So the pet things I can add to this one is this one. Or I can add something like this. Bleeding. Or I can add something like this. Shock stuff. So there's a lot of things that you can add. A lot of things that you can add for certain builds. So okay, enough of this from me. I'll be right back in a moment. I'm just gonna quickly update my titles, but I have to stop the stream to keep them separated. So thanks for watching. Keep it cool, love and respect, and until shortly or next time, depending when you're watching. Goodbye.
Only the first Far Cry was on CryEngine.